Okay.
I think I need to do a slightly better job with pacing out the tone of these stories because we're going back into the territory.
Not terrible though.
The
there was a Roosterteeth / Funhouse scandal.
Oh jeez, that's a fucking
downer.
segue.
Yeah.
We can just go back to talking about thick asses if you want.
I'm down for that. Here, let me show you my list of my top 10 Bara characters.
Oh, snap.
We're till the end of time. We will be here forever.
They are categorized. They are categorized by thickness and hairiness.
Exactly.
In an ideal world, there would have never been this drama, and we could just do that instead. But
I can have my own episode of this podcast.
This is possible.
Unroll the paper and all the men on it. Just like, all right, guys, we're going to start with names, starting with the letter A.
This portion of the podcast will be on OnlyFans.
Oh God.
No, please.
We'd be making money for sure.
Okay, before we turn super dark, I'm not gonna say who, but a fan did tell me to make a Patreon once, and I go, why? And I'm like, I don't do anything special, and he went, but you're just you, and I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah,
giving me money just to be me is kind of weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
I can set up a Patreon as like a little tip jar, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. I'm not a fan of it. But not saying anything bad to people who have OnlyFans. You guys rock yourself. Like, go. I am all here for it.
Yeah, we're sex positive here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's just like, again, that my thing. Kind of weird when someone just tells you make it to Patreon for just you.
It's better to own your material versus just getting a flat fee. I'm just saying, there's interesting documentaries and forum reports that have come out and explain the economics of it. And it's just like, oh wow, OnlyFans is actually probably the best alternative to the existing model. Anyway, we've staved off the inevitable.
No.
It's kind of like, now we're back.
No.
Yeah.
Really sad.
Ryan Haywood and Adam Kovic were caught up in sexual scandals and have since air quote left Roosterteeth.
No, they've both been terminated.
Yeah, hence the air quote. It's basically like, yeah, get the fuck out. It's like, you can't fire me. I quit.
Literally.
Yeah. Everyone knows what happened. I admittedly don't know too much about the Adam Kovic stuff because people are still investigating by the time I
know some stuff about it because my what's it called? My roommate Tim was very much into Funhouse and apparently
I know as much as everybody else does.
So yeah, if you guys want to do the Adam stuff, I can talk about the Ryan stuff.
Oh yeah, so apparently Adam Kovic is a real asshole in person.
Rahul Kohli does not like him. And
so basically Adam, I guess the whole scandal to catch everybody up is like basically with Adam Kovic, there was a whole Google Drive folder with a bunch of nudes. Yes, full nudes and videos of him, mostly himself, but like one or two of him and his wife together, and some of them he was actually doing sexual acts in like the office space of Funhouse.
Never okay. Please,
and it's still not sure if those videos were made with his wife's consent either.
Right,
yeah,
and also
we don't know, and his wife hasn't said anything. I mean, obviously, but.
Right. And also the fact that, I mean, there are allegations against him that he sent these videos to underage girls. So
I don't know if you heard this, but I heard, of course, but I don't want to do the whole he said, she said thing. But when I read about the story, supposedly someone had catfished him.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. People catfished him.
And then the nude showed up on a gay workout porn site or something, which I mean, hey, if that's your thing, go ahead, but like that's supposedly where they showed up at, and then someone linked to that, like linked it openly, and that's how people found them. That's just what I heard when this whole thing started. I don't know if that was proven true or false or not, but that person who had catfished him then posted those onto that site, and then it reached the open net. open air sounds weird. It reached the open internet.
It went into the ether, basically. Yeah.
It joined the digital world.
Basically, so for those who don't know, supposedly how both Ryan and Adam's things happened was there was a fan on 4chan who claimed that they hated Rooster Teeth's liberal biases and that they fired a voice actor named Vic Manana who has sexual allegations against him. Rooster Teeth fired him from Ruby, and this fan supposedly leaked these as a way to get back at them and say basically, fuck your liberal biases. This is what's going on. And Ryan's stuff obviously blew up way more than Adam's did. Again, I don't know if anything else has come out about Adam.
I think it was just infinitely more substantiated, and he basically outright came out and admitted it. I guess just to put the groundwork down there so everyone's on the same page. Ryan Haywood abused his position of power over fans in order to get like sexual acts or favors out of them, whether it's nudes or meeting up to do shit. And it's never okay to abuse your position over fans. That's a crazy fucking power dynamic. And some of them were allegedly minors, and that just makes it even worse. But Rooster Teeth, the company, their statement to it came out. They said that it said, our code of conduct is meant for everyone in our community to follow, and that includes our staff and anyone who works or partners with Rooster Teeth. We've parted ways with 2 employees whose conduct did not reflect the values we strive to uphold in our code of conduct. And to me, that kind of just comes out as like the most milquetoast PR way of saying like, people did bad thing, but we won't say what the bad thing is, so we're not working with them anymore. When it's just like this issue is like fucking pervasive in Hollywood and the media world. It's just like, you should use your fucking platform and be like, hey, people who abuse their power over fans, fuck off, fuck you, go fuck yourself.
Okay, so I'm not defending them. I'm looking at things in the middle from the time that statement was posted. I just want to say real quick, like, obviously there's a lot of legality things. You don't want to come out and like say you don't want a company to come out and say like fuck this person in particular, because they could sue for defamation and whatnot. At the time when that response came out, all of the allegations were still, we don't know if this really happened. Because at the time, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe any of the victims had come forward yet.
There was one that came out very early, I believe was the same day. I do not recall her name, but she did put out a video.
Yeah, and like, I don't know if her video came out after Rooster Teeth's statement or before.
Oh, it was way before. Rooster Teeth didn't put anything out until like 2 days after.
Okay.
I think what muddies this whole thing is that a lot of this, as you mentioned, came from 4chan and even Kiwi Farms, which is a notorious doxing website. I'm
going to be completely honest with you. When this whole thing started, I didn't know whether to believe it because it came from the Kiwi Farms, because it came from
exactly. That is an absolute valid concern.
The person who leaked it claiming it was because Rooster Teeth was anti-Trump, that was a huge red flag to me. Because I was like, okay, is this the only reason that you're leaking this really terrible stuff? Like, the fact that it came out because of that, for the first couple hours, I didn't really believe it. Because I was just like, wow, okay, because you're mad that a company is anti-Trump, you're suddenly going to leak somebody's nudes, which again, having your nudes on a fucking Google Drive, like...
And they call us snowflakes.
Oh, dude, the people that like using the term snowflake, they're the biggest fucking snowflakes in the world.
It's like, the whole... And again, exactly. I mean, I truly believe it now. I think it's terrible. I'm disappointed. I was a huge Achievement Hunter and Funhouse fan before all this happened, and it just hurts. It sucks. But yeah, at the beginning, it was so like weirdly, this is the best word to describe it, but like wiggly at the beginning because of the source where it came from. Especially with like Adams, or like, oh, he was catfished, and then his nudes were posted on like a gay workout porn site. Like, again, I'm not saying that's bad. You can be into that. That's totally cool. Who am I to judge? But it's just like the way that he had written that, I was like,
yeah.
It's like, did someone really catfish Adam Kovic to get his nudes to put on a porn site? Like, I was like, who is going through this trouble?
Yeah, I think with what happened to Adam Kovic, like there were some I mean, there are allegations and stuff, but nothing's been proven necessarily. And it was more of like an invasion of privacy that happened with him. And but
that also happened to just have shitty stuff in it.
Yeah, it has some other, like, there's some like breaking of trust and everything within his own relationship and all that stuff. But that's all like interpersonal things but otherwise, like, it's been said that in real life, Adam Kovic is actually just like, he's an asshole. And like a lot of people who were like guests on Funhouse didn't come back because of Adam Kovic. So
yeah, and Raul was pretty open in saying, like, he basically said fuck Adam Kovic.
Like that's why he stopped coming on Funhouse, was specifically because of him.
Lawrence Sontag he commented something along those lines and then deleted it shortly after. So I don't know, the whole, like, Adam, it's so hard to think about the shit that Adam's done when, like, Ryan was literally a fucking predator. And especially reading back on all the old, like, Rooster Teeth animated stuff, to where they're like, oh, Ryan always weirdly stays an extra night at like every hotel that we stay at. Thinking
all
about
that shit in hindsight.
Yeah,
freaks me out, dude.
Oh, thank you, PM Jeff. But yeah, I mean, as Corey pointed out, the Adam stuff, it's still pretty bad. But it's not just like it's not as hardcore confirmed as all the Ryan shit going on.
Like,
right.
Don't get me wrong. This shit that Adam did was not okay. But and again, I'm saying this for deep honesty. We literally have heard, again, we don't know if Adam sent them to underage fans. We don't know. The like board that Adam stuff is sitting on is so much more shakier than Ryan's, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not defending him, but like,
oh, absolutely.
I've heard nothing else from Adam stuff. Just the stuff with Ryan just keeps piling up. And also, if people are more confused after this discussion on it, I can't remember the Reddit commenter's name, but if you Google it, there's a Reddit commenter who is basically updating like so many different comments because he's like hit the text limit, where he's updating the entire situation and commenting whenever someone comes forward with accusations against Ryan. If he need like an easy way to keep up on all this. Feel bad, don't remember the person's name, because I want to give them as much credit as I possibly can, because they're being very good and diligent in keeping all this stuff down. But if you really want to know, I think it's r/what really happened or something like that. It's something along those lines.
Yeah, if you Google it, you'll find it pretty easy.
You'll be able to find it, and it's a great. I say that in like, it's great as in it explains everything, has everything up to date. I think the person's still updating it like daily. It just basically explains everything that's going on. But yeah, the whole situation sucks, and it's definitely hard. I was recently cleaning out clothes and shirts that I had, and I got rid of all my Achievement Hunter and Funhouse stuff because I couldn't.
I think it's also worth noting that so even though I'm not a huge fan of Rooster Teeth the company's statement, and the individual employees didn't really come out immediately and say anything, and I would imagine, you know, that's typical to be expected. Something happens in a company, they say, okay, just wait until we get all the details of this settled out, then you can say whatever you want. And like,
I can't blame any of them for not coming out right away, because it's probably like a legal thing. And to them, it would hit a lot harder than like a big company. So
yeah, and it hit those individual employees so fucking hard. I know I was watching I don't know if it was a stream or a VOD, but Jack and Michael from Achievement Hunter, they were in tears. It was so fucking hard. Like, we were sitting next to this monster this whole time, and we had no fucking clue. Like, that betrayed our trust. Hard to
watch. Like, oh god,
poor Jack.
But I remember I was talking to a friend about it, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know. What if they all knew?" And after watching that, I'm like, dude, they didn't know. Like, and just watching how sincere and just like Jose said, they were legitimately in tears multiple times throughout that video. Like,
and shout out to Rooster Teeth for I think they mentioned in that same stream that the Achievement Hunter guys, at the very least, They were given the week off, and they were also provided with counseling in order to help cope with the entire situation. So kudos for that. But I think just the last takeaway I want to do with this, at least for me, and you guys can add whatever you want also, is there's Rooster Teeth has been around for, I think, since 2004. So they have like a gigantic fan base, which a giant portion of that nowadays is a lot of impressionable kids. And there's a lot of impressionable fans out there. They're not taking this situation well in regards that they're defending it. And it's like, that's where you have to, as a company, you don't even have to name specific people, but just as a statement, just like, hey, any past, present, or future employees at anywhere, do not do this shit. This shit is fucked up. Fuck anyone that does this. And I think like everyone it is just such a low bar to say that. I think the entire industry needs to get behind that.
Because I mean, it is, and I would say that they would defend themselves and say, well, it's in our contract, it's in our rules of conduct and everything like that. And it's like, okay, but that's like, you sign a paper of employment and you move on. And then, you know, these people can do whatever they want until they get caught, and in which case, obviously, fire their ass. But it's like, you're not making a public statement about it against this issue. You're not bringing it to the light. You know, it needs to be brought more into the light so that way more people are aware of it and how often it actually happens, so we can battle it and we can fight it.
Exactly.
And it's like also, and you can judge this any way that you want, but this is how I'm taking it. The fact that, because I know it on that same stream, Jack said, we are never going to mention this again. We are never going to bring it up again. In my honest opinion, you can't, like, that doesn't set a good precedence. They're just basically trying to like
sweep it under the rug. Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. It's so mentally painful for them, and I can't understand what they're going through. I can't begin to understand what
I think that's what it is they want to keep the positive energy about their show, but also I think it might be just like too painful for them to talk about. I imagine go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think I would like slightly disagree with Sarah. I strongly disagree with, or I would say, for as far as like sweeping under the rug, that's what corporate Rooster Teeth did. But for like the individual employees, as Corey said, I believe like it's just so painful to even think about it. I don't think they'll necessarily ignore it just so much as they're not going to bring it up casually in content or whatever. They also could be told by PR to not talk about it. Yeah. So that's also another reason, like, corporate does affect how they, you know, do their show. So and Rooster Teeth has gotten very progressively corporate over the years. So that's absolutely believable.
Well, so to preface why I said that, to kind of bring up what you guys were saying earlier, where right now we need them to come out and say, like, this shit isn't okay. People in power who are not us, but like other influencers, shouldn't be doing this. And I feel like them just saying, which I get it's really intense for them. I feel so bad for them. Like, you don't understand. Like I love Jack. I love Michael. I love all of them. And it hurts so bad to see them so hurt. But at the same time, I feel like even if it's not now, even if it's like a couple months from now, even if it's like a year from now, having them come out and be like, look, people with power, people of influence should not be doing this. This is not okay. Like, just hearing them say that after this whole thing is going to get so many more people to be like, okay, maybe we know that they didn't know now. Maybe they understand, which I'm not saying they don't understand the like severity of what happened. I'm definitely not saying that. It's so hard to put words what I'm trying to get here.
It's just such a fucked up situation.
I totally get it. And I think it's like, it's one of those situations where everyone knows, you'd have to be completely brain dead to not know what is going on in that sense. Like, the problem is that everybody knows what's going on, but nobody wants to be like the flagship starter of a movement, you know? no company wants to be the one to flagship a movement for positive change, because on a business standpoint, they can always see negative backlash from being a quote unquote social justice warrior or whatever you want to say. But eventually something's got to give. Eventually it's going to happen. It may not be right this second, but eventually something's going to break to the point where this is a problem, not just in our nation, especially in our nation, in America, but it's a problem worldwide.
Going back to what you were, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, and it needs to be brought more awareness to, and it needs to stop. So
I think going back to the PR thing, I don't want to speak for everyone here, but Rooster Teeth is a pretty big fucking deal. Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
Rooster Teeth is a very big fucking deal, even in the games industry, let alone, just the, whatever you want to label them as. They're a big company in the space. And, people that would come out and like continue to talk about it, maybe would not be in the most, favorable light with Rooster Teeth. And they just have a big influence. I don't want to go too much into it, but
no, I get you.
I would say people were more hesitant to write about this. And, and granted, there's a lot of legality going on with this, as Sarah accurately stated earlier. But it feels like there's a lot of people outside of the company Rooster Teeth that haven't spoken up about it. And when you compare this, when you compare and contrast against other situations to other companies, it's just like, oh wow, the response time there was really quick. And even if they didn't have like the hardcore facts, they say allegedly this is what people are claiming. So the response time is not the same whatsoever.
No, yeah, I think more people that work for these companies that are, if they're witnessing any of this behavior whatsoever, they need to speak out, and they need to talk about it, and they need to put these people in a spotlight, because I'm sorry, and I'm going to be the first to say it, but these are freaking pedophiles, guys. These are pedophiles.
Yeah, fuck these people.
Like,
you should have no qualm saying fuck anyone that does this shit.
Exactly.
Ryan was fucking 40, and he was like sleeping with like 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like,
and even makes me
all shivery. Like,
even speaking in a legal term, if they were over 18, still using your platform and your power to coerce someone into a sexual situation is never okay. It's never okay for any situation to utilize your power in a negative manner.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if it's legal or not. It's fucked up. It's morally fucking wrong.
Yeah. Exactly.
And just one note I want to put out there, just so we can move on, unless anyone else has anything else they want to add, is they are Achievement Hunter, at the very least, is taking down every single video that has Ryan in it or any mention, as well as any merchandise.
Oh, good.
And the parent company Rooster Teeth has been more than accommodating with that. So kudos to them on that front. Well, yeah,
he's I don't know what even to say. His career's over. He's done. I don't know what he's going to do for the rest of his life, but I don't give a shit.
Yep.
Also, I'm just going to point out here, because a lot of people have been pointing it out, but it's kind of been drowned out. Please don't attack his family. Please don't attack his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're the fucking victims.
His kids are toddlers. Like, just please don't. Like, I get everything that he's done is shitty and bad, but they're also victims in this. And I've been seeing too many people online doxing him, doxing his family, doxing his wife. Like, don't do that. Like, don't. There's nothing that's ever going to justify doing that when they have nothing to do with this.
Yeah, you should never dox in the first place, but you should especially never dox the fucking victim.
Yeah, don't dox. Just don't dox his family. Don't dox his wife. His kids are fucking toddlers, guys. Just don't do it. Like, it's not good. It's not smart. It's absolutely dumb. Like, I get it. Everything that he's done was terrible, and he's a pedophile, and it's disgusting. But his family had nothing to do with it. They are also victims. Just please. And I hate that that's been getting drowned out. Like, the people coming forward saying, like, don't do this is getting drowned out, and that's terrible. to me. Like, that's not okay. Like, just don't be that person, please.
Right.
Like, be the better person. Attack him. Don't attack his family. Those are completely different things. Like,